the field. Obviously, giving up, I think it was 400-something yards passing is not something that we want to, have happen often. But I feel like it's something we can clean up. And, I'm just kind of excited where we're at. Excited about the guys that we have and the fun we're having.
Pete just signaled out your past defense as one of your better games. What do you think stood out for you in that regard? Anything different in the way you're doing it, or just a good game for you?
Definitely put a little bit more emphasis on it. I think just trying to, make sure no balls get caught over the middle, be a little bit more active, and just be more confident and just, take my chance. And so I just was taking my chances more and was able to break up a couple passes.
Joe Fan.
Oh, you mentioned being physical. Pete just said, the message is clear. We're coming out to knock the hell out of you. I'm sure that's a mindset that you guys have always had. Every football team wants to be physical, but do you feel like maybe this year you're better equipped to, handle that task? And do you feel like you felt that on Sunday?
Definitely. I feel like that's always, our mindset. Since I've been here, you have guys like Cam, coming out hitting dudes at practice. It definitely sets a tone. So, I definitely feel like it's something that we want to keep up. I feel like we're definitely equipped to do this all 16 games, and I'm excited to be playing with the guys I'm playing with.
How important is it to be able to have that mindset and be able to do that going into a game against Cam Newton? They just ran the ball 42 times, and it might potentially be a street fight type of game in the trenches, and you guys are capable of handling that.
It's very important, especially when you play a team that's committed on running the ball. It's kind of like a challenge of who can be tougher. And so when somebody wants to run 42 times, it's, really test of your will. And I feel like I like our will.
Thanks, Bobby.
Jen?
I know that you've seen Cam Newton do just about everything that he can do on a field, but do you have to approach this with maybe fresh eyes in not knowing how exactly the Patriots will use him?
Yeah, you definitely have to approach it with fresh eyes. We have a lot of history of playing Cam. We understand the type of runs that they want to implement with Cam. We also understand that the Patriots have a history of, they coming out and they can run the ball 42 times one game, and in the next game throw it 42 times. So, I feel like they're confident in Cam's ability to throw the ball as well. So we got to be prepared for everything, and we just have to make sure that we make them one-dimensional and don't let them come out and run and pass on us.
AJ.
Jamal Adams said playing with you on Sunday was like having Batman and Robin out there against the Falcons. Who is Batman and who is Robin?
I'm not really a Batman and Robin fan. I'm a Ninja Turtle fan. But if I had to choose, he could be Batman. I'll be the Joker from The Dark Knight, because he was, he was wrecking shop. So I like that.
Fair enough.
Nobody's ever beat him either. So he's still the best Joker ever.
Sounds good. I'll take it. So the next question is, facing somebody like Cam Newton, how much of an advantage is it for you as a defense to go against Russell Wilson, who has a very similar mobile abilities as Cam Newton, than if maybe you had a traditional pocket passer as your quarterback? How much of an advantage is it to go against Russ every single day in practice?
It's definitely a little bit of advantage. I think with Cam, they do a lot different things, because Cam is such a big guy that, they run power with him, and they run, a lot of QB runs that other quarterbacks don't run. And so, it's with Russell, it's a little bit unique, but still with Cam and the different variety of runs that they have, something that you definitely have to be ready for. I think he's like 6'5", so if you don't tackle him, he falls forward for like 5 yards. So we'll have to be ready.
Thanks.
No problem.
Curtis.
Bobby, were you surprised at all at how relatively clean the football looked for this opening weekend, given the constraints on the year and the lack of tackling in preseason or anything like that coming up to this point?
No, I'm not really surprised. I feel like we're all professionals. I mean, honestly, I think maybe the tackling and some of the penalties weren't going to be there, but I mean, I think guys are able to adapt pretty easy. A lot of guys are coming from, when we were in college, we didn't have a preseason. We just went right into the season. So that's kind of been our mindset, just understanding that you had to be ready, and that every game was live bullets, and you had to be ready to go out there. So I'm not surprised too much. Maybe with the holding stuff, I thought it'd been more holding calls, but we're all professionals, so we should be able to knock this out.
And what was it like seeing so many pressures from the secondary and the stuff you guys did against Atlanta and working that in? And what kind of challenge has that been to kind of adapt that into what you guys have done defensively?
I don't think it was pretty much a challenge. I feel like we've done it before. We just, increased it a little bit. So I don't think it necessarily changed anything that we did. We just did more of it. And so I think it's always exciting to add a new element to the defense. And, people have to account for Jamal. So that's fun. Takes eyes off me.
Brady.
Hey, what's up, Bobby?
What's up? Nice glasses.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. Can you tell the difference, and if so, what is the difference like between, under normal circumstances when you have a Sunday afternoon game at CenturyLink Field versus a primetime game, evening game?
As far as what, the atmosphere?
Yeah, atmosphere, the crowd noise, energy, and all that.
I don't know. I feel like since I've been here my rookie year, Coach Carroll's really harped not making one game bigger than another. So, you go into it really with the same mindset that it's a regular game. But as far as the atmosphere, I think when it comes to the crowd, I think Sunday night games, everybody's getting off of work and they having drinks and stuff like that. So they definitely a little bit more locked in Sunday night versus the morning games. But I think it just kind of depends on the team. There've been games where we play the 49ers where you can't hear yourself and we're standing right next to each other because the crowd is so loud. And it just depends on, who we playing, the time. But you definitely love it when it's loud and the offense can hear.
And Pete talked about having to, create your own energy in these situations where there are no fans. As a player, how do you do that?
You just get a little bit more jacked up than normal. I think it's fun too. I thought the game was really fun because there was no crowd noise. You was able to hear a lot of stuff that you don't normally hear. So you hear people who cuss that don't normally cuss during the week, and so that was fun to hear. To find out some guys have some potty mouths.
I don't suppose you'll tell us any of those names.
I will not. You will have to listen on the TV.
Got it. Thank you.
Michael Sean.
Bobby, there's been a kind of a rise, a new class of black quarterbacks since you've entered the league. What have you thought of that rise?
I love it. I mean, I feel like, every quarterback presents a uniqueness about their game. I think it grows the game. I think it opens the eyes of people's mentality that the quarterback position has to be one way. That can be done multiple ways. And so I'm excited to see that. I think it, especially, for the black quarterbacks, I think it gives a lot of young guys and inspires them to want to, be quarterbacks, be more. We'll have more quarterbacks, and it's going to be really fun to watch and watch the evolution of that position.
Thanks.
Art.
Bobby, Michael Bennett once said that tackling Cam Newton was like hitting a tree. If you agree with that, did you guys ever deliver a hit or a memorable hit on him that said, well, I'm in this game and this is the Seahawks way of playing?
Well, I don't know why Michael Bennett is tackling trees. I don't know how he even has that reference in his repertoire. I think he should stop doing that immediately if he's still doing that. But I think the last time that I can remember us playing him was probably when we were down there and they ran a quarterback play on third down and short, didn't get it. Then they ran quarterback play on fourth down and didn't get it. And then everybody started talking trash and, kind of let them know that we was going to be here. So I expect the same type of game.
And would you share any of the trash talk?
Of course not. But maybe you'll hear it because there's no fan noise. Unless the TV broadcast puts the fake fan noise in again. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought you guys were hearing what I was hearing, but I guess not.
So we're counting on you.
I'm trying, doing my best.
Aaron.
Hey, Bobby. Shaq Griffin this offseason joked that nobody really has an excuse not to miss any of your calls if there's no crowd noise. So is that the case now because there's not a lot of crowd noise, number one? Number two, I'm assuming you would be Raphael. Would that make Jamal Adams Michelangelo because of his attitude, or would you give him somebody else?
First of all, Shaq should never miss a call because Shaq should just be in the huddle and listen, and he's not a rookie anymore, so now he's a young guy, and so now He like listen to your older guys, and so he better stay listening, or I'm just withhold the play from him. But as far as Ninja Turtles, yeah, I'm Raphael for sure. I think he's like he would be Michelangelo. He's fun and exciting, high energy, all that stuff. So I'm cool with that. As long as I get to wear red, I'm good.
Jackie?
Hey, Bobby, just a quick question on Russ. With him winning NFC Offensive Player of the Week, some people, outside of Seattle media or Northwest media have not given him the credit that he likely deserves throughout his career. So what do you think this award, getting it right out of the gate, what message it sends, and just how just the impressive performance he had in Week 1?
I don't know if it necessarily sends a message. 'Cause I feel like the league knows, how great of a quarterback Russell is. Everybody knows, what he brings to the game. And, I think the more everybody watches, hopefully the more everybody appreciates, what he does. And, his ability to escape, run, throw the ball. He has a great, ball down the field. He's able to make plays on the run. He's able to, move around in the pocket. He's just really, really fun to watch. And I've been fortunate to play with him, as long as I've been playing with him. And so, I feel as, out of the gate, just let you know that he's serious and he's been locked in, just as locked in he's always been. And I'm excited to see it. And, whether they see it or not, I think, it's important for his teammates to appreciate it. And we do.
Thank you.
Last one for Bobby, Tim Booth.
Hey, Bobby. The NFL had some social justice, racial equality slogans and stuff painted around the field last week, and my understanding is they're going to do it going forward. I'm wondering if you happen to notice those. Do you think those are effective ways of messaging with everything that's going on right now?
I mean, I think it's a start. I think definitely you notice them. I think, when you have like photographers taking pictures and guys are stretching in the end zone, in the bottom of the end zone, you have in racism or, the things that they have. I think it's definitely cool to see the names on the back of the helmets. Would love for them to loosen up on what names we were able to use and not just kind of put us in a box on certain names. But, I think it's, you appreciate their efforts and you just want whatever happens to continue, and you want it to be real and not just gestures or not just something that they're doing to react in the moment. You want it to be something that is a start or a beginning to a forever change.
Bobby, thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Bobby.
Take it easy.
There we go. I'm back. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Greg. Oh, Greg.
All right, our traditional John Boyle. Want to lead us off?
Greg, that touchdown was obviously something that requires precise timing and Russ trusting you to be in the right spot and all that. First game for you, new to the offense. Just what does that show about the chemistry you guys have built already?
Yeah, it was a great start. It's always nice to know that the quarterback feels comfortable enough with you to kind of trust you and kind of throw a ball before you even turn around. But I kind of joked that I didn't really have much of a choice but to catch it, because if I didn't, it would have been a disaster. I probably would have knocked my face mask off. But yeah, it was great timing. I got a little jammed up there. I was supposed to be a little deeper. There was some traffic and had to break it off a little early, and Russ just had a great window through the line there and just trusted that I was going to come out of the break. And when I turned my head, it was right there. So it was a nice, for the first game, to start developing some of that timing and rhythm, and knowing that we're building on that trust each and every day is nice. We got a lot of work to do. I still got a lot of things to learn within the framework of the offense, but overall it was a good first start.
Chris Francis.
Hey, Greg. Along those same lines, the Russ said, diversifying the football was something that he was proud of on Sunday. Obviously, you're new, but the fact that it's happening so quickly in this offense, do you feel that? Is there more work to be done? Is it just a product of having so many weapons?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work still to be done. We by no means, played flawlessly. We had some mistakes. We had some, miscues that sometimes don't pop out on the screen. Kind of Russ sometimes can can make some mistakes kind of go away. He's kind of like a racer to a degree. But, there's a lot of work for us all to do, just understanding timing, understanding landmarks, understanding adjustments. And sometimes the only way to learn those things is to do them. You can sit there and talk about it and watch tape and discuss it, but until you go through those live reps time and time again, practice, and then, of course, games, that's really where you start building that chemistry. So, as an offense, we still feel like we have a lot of room to grow. That was one game, week one. We have a lot of work to do to get where we want to be.
Jen?
The Patriots are going to adapt to whatever team they face, so we don't know how they're going to use Cam Newton, but after being his teammate for so long, what do you know for sure that Cam will always do?
He's going to compete hard. He's going to do everything he can in his power to give his team a chance to be successful, whether that's throwing it, running it, scrambles, design runs, short yardage, goal line, whatever the situation presents. It's just the competitor that he is. It's the type of guy that he is. Our guys, they know him well. They've played against him a lot. They know the challenge that he is. They have a ton of respect for him, as we all do. I told him that I talked to him the other day. I said, man, I want you to have a great year, just not in week 2. But I want what's best for him. He's an awesome guy. We have a great relationship. But for 1 week, we're gonna control him, hopefully.
Joe?
Greg, this is really random, but I'm curious about the beanie. Is that like just part of your swag? I've noticed every time you don't have a helmet on, you got the beanie on. Even in the heat of summer in August, I think you'd take a couple of plays off, take your helmet off, and the beanie immediately on.
Yeah, it's something I've done for pretty much my whole career. When I'm working out or training, practice, walk. I don't know. I just have always done it. It started back when I was in Chicago. It was cold. I didn't like training with a baseball hat on, like a ball cap. I don't know. I just started wearing a beanie, and like you said, summer, winter, indoor, outdoor, doesn't matter. I don't know. It just kind of happened.
Bob?
Yeah, Greg, one more on Cam. He obviously dealt with injuries a lot the last couple of years and stuff like that. Do you think that led to any perception, I guess, about what kind of future he had left and all of that, and sort of left him, out there to be gotten? And then when you saw him, Sunday, it looked like he's sort of back to his old self physically.
Yeah, injuries, as we all know in this league, always creates a lot of questions. You play the game long enough, you're bound to have something happen. I had it happen to me firsthand, and people kind of gave up on me. The same thing happened to Cam. He was banged up there for a couple of years, kind of out of his control, and all of a sudden, instead of just saying, hey, here's a really good player, but he's just banged up and dealing with some stuff, all of a sudden the message is, he's done. He's not the same guy anymore. So I get it. I understand what that label will do to you, and how much you want to go out and prove people wrong and show yourself, show everybody that believes in you that you can still play. And I'm sure a lot of that fuels him as he prepares for his second start there in New England. I'm sure he hears all those things. So I get it. He's a great player. I've seen it up close and personal. Everyone, he's a great player. He's dealt with some injuries, but that's just part of the game. But when he's intact and he's healthy, he's a handful.
Have time for one more with Greg. Michael Sean.
Hey, Greg, you were there Cam's first year when the number of really talented black quarterbacks was not as high as it is now. And what have you thought of the rise of black players at that position since you've been in the league? Yeah,
there's been a dramatic shift. I think that's the reality of it. And you just see so many of these guys who've come into the league, and everyone wants to always stereotype and say, oh, they're runners, they're runners. But we're seeing these guys come in, these young quarterbacks across the league, and they're great athletes. From the time they were young, they were just around the game a lot more. The youth game has really developed a lot, but these guys are not just standing back there in high school and college anymore, just statues throwing the ball. They're from the time they're young, they're dual threat guys, and they're you're starting to see it used to just end in college, and then it was more prototypical, whatever that means, quarterback play in the NFL. You're seeing that kind of dual threat stuff come through, and Cam obviously was at the front of it. You had RG3 kind of right on the tail of him, Kaepernick But now recently, Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson and Mahomes, I mean, it's impressive. These guys are so talented. They're so athletic, but they're very smart. They play the quarterback position. They just happen to be great athletes. And I think that's really the magic of the position these days is, having that ability to move around, create. We see it with Russ all the time. They're not just statues. And it's just huge for an offense. Like I said, they can put out a lot of fires because you don't have to be perfect. And, the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of really special guys at the position come into the league. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Greg.
Of course, the tempo, everything was out there fast. It's different from college. But I feel like that LSU prepared me well, just going against SEC opponents every week, going with fast tempo. And last year, our offensive coordinator had us going real quick. So I feel like that the transition just was natural, me just coming over, just getting the routine back over again.
Jen?
What did you learn about what it takes, though, to, I guess, hold your own? Because you had a pretty tough matchup there on Sunday. There was a couple of penalties, and I know that part of that's just the adjustment period and learning what works.
Yeah, just going out there, just learning everything I did at practice, got, the coaches and the player, preparation at practice, just taking it to the field, I had some error, but, those things get fixed. And, it's just going against one of the best D tackle in the league, just gonna see that every week. I told Coach Pete that we got the best here. I'm gonna see the best guy in front of me every day at practice. We're gonna mirror each other every day. So I feel like that our D lineman got me prepared, and I was ready to go last week.
Michael Sean?
Hey, Damian, did you have a message on your helmet decal week one?
Yeah, it was somebody's name.
Whose name?
It was Breonna Taylor.
Why'd you go with Breonna?
People just got to look around, how the world going right now. All the police brutality and, people end up dying for no reason. You just got to speak for those things right there. Innocent people dying, they want to be here it's sad that they ain't here to watch the game, you know, be at their home with their family just watching the game. So, you know, those people who ain't here, you know, I'm just represent.
You're going with the same one for week 2?
Probably. Now, I probably do it different. I probably do my girlfriend, her father. She had police brutality too. He got shot 11 times in Chicago, so I probably go with him.
What was his name?
Andrew Sled.
Spell that last name for me.
Sled. Sledd.
Thank you.
Curtis.
Hey, Damien, just kind of curious, what were your favorite parts about how the game went for you, and what were the things that you're kicking yourself over this week and looking to improve upon from how the game went?
You know, there's always room to improve, you know. The old flags and the thing that I had, you know, the mistakes that I did out there, you know, I'm going to try to, you know, get this right this week and, you know, go looking forward toward the Patriot game and trying to have a perfect game. But like I say, everybody ain't perfect. I'm just going out there and do what I can do and just make it happen.
Brady?
Damien, sorry about that. Was there, from a technical standpoint, was there a teaching point on the holding penalties that you had, that you heard from coaches?
Well, not that, you know, I never seen before, but yeah, like, you know, every flag, you know, you don't want to happen, but, you know, getting in the game, you know, I feel like I got a good feel of the game. I know how everything going to be. Now it just put me in a good position to come back out there and show myself next week and just hopefully do better.
And with Andrew Sled, is that name already approved by the NFL, or what do you have to do to get that name approved?
I don't know. I'm going to talk to someone, you know, just find out and, you know, see can I do it. But if not, I'm going to pick someone else that, you know, I'm able to do.
Got it. Thank you.
John Boyle?
Yeah, Damien, we saw you on the screen pass touchdown all the way down, you know, making a block at the goal line. As linemen, how much do you guys like those screen passes where you can just run downfield, look for somebody to kind of pick out and hit?
You know, it's spotlight the offensive lineman. You know, we never get enough recognition. You know, people always skip over the offensive lineman. So just, you know, us going out there on the screen, me posting Mike, and, you know, just showing our athleticism, and, you know, just running down the field with Chris and just, you know, play up on the board. You know, coach put it on the board and, you know, see the big guys move.
And last one for Damien, AJ.
Hey, Damien, first off, I just want to say I'm really sorry for what your girlfriend's dad went through. Can you give a few more details on when that happened and just a little bit more context for us?
This happened like way before my time. You know, my girl, well, before we even got together, she told me the story that, you know, the Chicago Police Department, you know, they had the wrong guy, you know. They were looking for the wrong guy, and they ran in the house, and, you know, they end up shooting while the kids were there, and he was there, but they looking for the wrong guy, and they shot him 11 times without, you know, getting warnings or nothing. So.
How old was your girlfriend?
She was like, at the time, she was like 5 or 4.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, ma'am.
Damien, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank y'all.